Here we are.
Here we are.
Back at it.
Back at it.
We're in the Hollywood Hills in Beachwood Canyon at a house designed by the architect Lorenzo Tedesco. And so the thing that I think is interesting about this house is that, you know, they were giving away these lots if you bought a single volume encyclopedia back in the day, 100 years ago. I mean, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, you had little hunting cabins up in here. And then like in Laurel Canyon, if you bought a, you know, big dictionary, you got a free lot. And so that's what this is. It's like an unbuildable, steep hillside lot in the Hollywood Hills that the architect did kind of a contemporary or modern 1967 version of a hunting cabin.
Yeah, we were looking at the timeline. It looks like he graduated in 63 from USC. And then this might have been his first project because this is 67. But standing out here, there are some interesting things that I was just looking at it now. But the brick here is horizontal, but then all the siding is vertical. And so that's got a kind of a nice composition. And then if you look at the elevations, the entry and the window here is offset, but on that elevation, the window is centered on that chimney / fireplace.
Yeah, it's kind of playful that you're right, the symmetrical and asymmetrical and the dialogue between this, I call it like slumpstone block, where they've come back in and blasted the face to expose the aggregate. And then you've got the smooth block cap on top. It's clearly architect designed. I mean, when we saw it hit the MLS, we're like, oh, who did that?
Yeah.
It's very vertical because they would have had to eat into this hillside with retaining walls. You know, now this would be so prohibitively expensive to build because the city would make you build deep piles to hold back the whole hillside. So they were able to do this in 1967.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of original details and a new renovation that I think is very tastefully in dialogue with the original architecture.
Right. You were going through, we were trying to point out what's new, what was original. It's kind of fun, kind of dissecting it in that way. But when it's harder to tell, you know, it's been done tastefully.
True. And now as I'm listening to you, I'm looking behind you. That's one of my favorite details is this mailbox house number box that's built into the masonry. And it looks like, maybe it's mahogany. I'm not exactly sure what the wood is, but there's a slot for delivery of mail on one side and a bigger slot for receipt of the mail on the other. And it's just sandwiched into the block wall, you know, a little lower than eye level. But that's the kind of thing coming around the corner. If I just saw that, I would know an architect designed this.
Yeah. And I you know, talking about these walls, I really like these retaining walls, the way that he positioned them. On this side, he sort of did a little carve out for the bedroom down below, and then in the back and the rear, he pushed the wall far back enough to allow for a little private outdoor space. I think that's really, really thoughtful.
Yeah, and he kept the basic house form. You know, it's got this kind of a roof, and yet there's no overhang or eave, which is actually quite good in a high fire severity zone, which we're in, because the fire can't get caught under that eave. But it's also a really crisp kind of modern detail to a traditional house form.
Yeah.
And then inside, it's just a single volume. The kitchen is separated as you'd expect in 1967. But then the main living room, dining room area is separated by a nice, generous bar, a Mad Men bar.
Yeah.
And you've got this wonderful metal firebox at the end that kind of reminds me of Pierre Koenig's Beagle's residence. And, you know, they may have even been at USC around the same time.
Right. I actually like the way they position that hearth down below. It's kind of like it sits on this platform. And then my favorite part about this is it reminds me of Craig Ellwood, is the built-in cabinetry in the center of the space where it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling and it divides the living room from the dining room. I love little monolithic components like that separate space.
Yeah, and I'm glad they kept that original cabinetry. Now they pulled all the pulls off and replated them, put them back on. They did some new hardware and some old. I think the piano hinges are original, but you can tell in the kitchen It's new hardware, which brings it into alignment with contemporary standards of self-closing drawers and things like that. But they kept the original cabinetry and just refinished it, which is really nice because the quality of the cabinetry was so much higher back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you've got original sliding doors, the aluminum sliders, the original hardware, and a lot of original details. There's a wonderful guardrail going up the stair with a window through to the stair, so you can see people coming up and going down the stairs, which I think is really visually exciting.
Agreed.
It's a good mix of,
Yeah.
They kept original stuff, they introduced some new finishes, and I think it's a pretty good marriage.
Yeah, agreed.
Three-bedroom, 3.5. It's listed at 2,350. And what's my cheat sheet? Is it about 2,000 square feet? 2,534 square feet.
And we want to thank Kate
Yep.
Blackwood for allowing us to come by and film it, which we enjoyed doing.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have another conversation.
All right.